Isaac Newton was born on January 4, 1643, in a small village called Woolsthorpe in England. His birth was during a very cold winter, and people believed he might not survive because he was so small and weak. However, Isaac grew up to be a healthy and curious child. Isaac's father had died 3 months before his birth. When he was just 3 years old, his mother remarried and left him to live with his grandparents. This made Isaac feel lonely, but he found comfort in books and his love for learning. Even as a young boy, Isaac was different from other children. He didn't like playing outside much. Instead, he spent hours watching the world around him. Isaac loved making things with his hands. One day, he built a tiny windmill using wood and paper. It could grind wheat just like a real windmill. People in the village were amazed by his talent. Isaac also created water clocks and even small mechanical toys. These small projects showed his incredible intelligence and creativity. Although his family owned a farm, Isaac was not interested in becoming a farmer. He would often ignore farm work to read books or do experiments. His mother wanted him to take care of the farm, but Isaac's heart was set on studying and exploring the world. When Isaac was older, he went to a local school. He walked many miles each day just to attend classes. Isaac worked hard and quickly became one of the best students in his class. He loved subjects like mathematics and science, which made him think deeply about the mysteries of the universe. At the age of 18, Isaac got the opportunity to attend Cambridge University, one of the best schools in England. This was a dream come true for him. At Cambridge, Isaac learned about the works of great thinkers like Galileo and Kepler. But Isaac wasn't just interested in learning what others had discovered. He wanted to find his own answers to the big questions of life. Why do things fall? Why does the sun shine? How do the stars move? Isaac's journey as a great thinker and scientist was just beginning. Isaac Newton was a student at Cambridge University when a terrible thing happened. In 1665, a disease called the Great Plague spread across England. To stay safe, Cambridge University closed, and all the students were sent home. Isaac returned to his family's farm in Woolsthorpe. Although he was far from his university, Isaac's mind was always busy with questions and ideas. One sunny afternoon, Isaac was sitting under an apple tree in his garden. He liked to think about the world while enjoying the peaceful surroundings. Suddenly, an apple fell from the tree. It hit the ground, right in front of him. Isaac didn't think of it as just an apple falling. Instead, he asked himself a big question. Why did the apple fall down and not go up? This was a simple question, but it had a deep meaning. Isaac started to think about why things always fall to the ground. He thought about how objects are pulled down, no matter where they are on earth. Was there some invisible force pulling the apple? Was the same force responsible for keeping the moon around the earth? Isaac didn't have the answer yet, but he was determined to find it. At home, Isaac spent hours writing and calculating. He experimented with different ideas. He thought about how objects move and how they are affected by forces. He believed there was a connection between the falling apple, the motion of the planets, and everything in the universe. Isaac's thoughts about the apple became the foundation of his most famous discovery, gravity. Gravity, he realized, is the force that pulls everything toward the Earth's center. It is the reason why we don't float away, and why the planets stay in orbit around the sun. This discovery was groundbreaking, because it explained something that no one had fully understood before. Even though Isaac's discovery was still in its early stages, he was already thinking about how to prove it. He used math to explain his ideas and wrote them down carefully. Isaac was not just solving a mystery about the apple, he was uncovering a truth about the entire universe. After returning to Cambridge University in 1667, Isaac Newton continued to develop his ideas about gravity and motion. But his curiosity didn't stop there. He was exploring many areas of science and mathematics at the same time. Isaac was determined to find answers to the biggest questions about the world and the universe. Isaac's work on gravity led him to think about motion. He asked himself questions like, why do objects move? What stops them from moving? What keeps the planets moving around the sun? Isaac worked tirelessly to create a set of rules to explain motion. These became known as Newton's laws of motion, and they are still taught in schools today. Here are the 3 laws. 1. First law. An object will stay still or keep moving in a straight line unless a force acts on it. For example, a ball will keep rolling unless something like friction or a wall stops it. 2. Second law. The more force you apply to an object, the faster it will move. For example, if you push a car, it moves slower than pushing a small bicycle because the car is heavier. 3. Third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. For example, when you jump off a boat, the boat moves backward while you move forward. Isaac's discoveries explain not only how objects move on Earth, but also how planets and stars move in space. He realized that the same force of gravity that pulls an apple to the ground is what keeps the moon orbiting the Earth and the planets orbiting the sun. This was a groundbreaking idea that connected the Earth and the heavens in a way no one had done before. Isaac also used mathematics to describe these ideas. He invented a new type of math called calculus, which is used to solve problems involving change and motion. This was another one of his major contributions to the world. In 1687, Isaac published a book called Principia Mathematica. This book explained his laws of motion and the theory of gravity in detail. It became one of the most important books in the history of science. Scientists all over the world praised Isaac's work. Isaac Newton was no longer just a student or a curious thinker. He was now recognized as one of the greatest scientists of all time. Isaac Newton's discoveries didn't stop with gravity and motion. He also studied light and colors. Using a prism, he showed that white light is made up of all the colors of the rainbow. This was a revolutionary idea at the time, and it laid the foundation for the study of optics. Isaac was fascinated by the mysteries of the natural world, and his curiosity helped him uncover truths that no one else had seen before. Later in life, Isaac became a respected figure in England. He was knighted by Queen Anne in 1705, earning the title Sir Isaac Newton. He also served as the president of the Royal Society, an organization of scientists dedicated to advancing knowledge. Despite his fame, Isaac remained humble and continued to work on his studies. Isaac Newton's impact on the world of science is enormous. His laws of motion and theory of gravity are still used to explain how things move in space and on Earth. Engineers, physicists, and astronomers rely on his ideas even today. Isaac's work showed that the universe is governed by natural laws that can be understood through observation and reasoning. But Isaac's story is not just about science. It's also about the power of curiosity and determination. He started as a lonely boy on a farm, asking simple questions like, "Why does the apple fall?" Those questions led him to discoveries that changed the world. Isaac's story teaches us that great things can come from simple beginnings, and that persistence can lead to extraordinary achievements. What can we learn from Isaac? Isaac Newton's life reminds us to stay curious, ask questions, and never stop learning. Whether it's understanding how things work, solving problems, or exploring new ideas, we can all follow in Isaac's footsteps by being curious and determined. Are you curious about the world like Isaac Newton? Start your journey today. Watch more stories like this to improve your English listening skills. Practice asking questions in English to improve your speaking skills. Write your thoughts about Isaac in the comments. What did you learn from his story? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to keep learning amazing stories in English. Together, let's keep discovering and growing just like Isaac did.